Welcome to Workout Wednesday, week 42. This challenge is going to be brought to you by a community member, Tice. If you've not seen his content, I urge you to check out his GitHub as well as his Twitter feed. I will link both in the description below. In week 37, Spencer Bach had put out a challenge which was his first Deneb. Deneb, if you're unfamiliar, is a custom visual that allows you to use Vega Lite or Vega language to create visuals in PowerBI. So this week, we're going to take the three charts that Spencer had created, and Tice has a challenge to bring in 4 new charts that we can build from that original challenge with. Again, Tice is an expert at Deneb. If you check out his web content, a lot of it is around that. So I urge you to have a look. All right, let's go ahead and get started with chart 4. Well, all we're really doing is we're changing the axes on the margin and the region. And then what we're doing is we're modifying some of the properties to make it look better. So the best thing we can do is copy and paste. Oops, let's delete that. Copy and paste this chart 1. So let's pull this down. If it'll let me pull it down. There we go. And let's just very quickly, let's go ahead and change the title. So we'll call this number 4 swapped. I am cheating and looking at my other screen here. Channels for a vertical bar chart. Okay. Now all we'll do is we'll go in and we'll go to edit. Once we're in edit, let's just see what happens if we swap just the X and the Y axis in this code. Now you can see that margin is here on the left as a title, and that regions are down here on the bottom in the X axis. Let's go ahead and change the axis information here. Let's call this region. And you can see that I'll change to region. Let's move these titles to be more horizontal here. Tice did provide some of the operators that you need to use for this. For example, if we wanted to change the label angle, it just is label angle. We'll set it to 0 degrees, and it'll be changed now to that. This title, actually, if we wanted to make it smaller, there's another thing that we could do. We could do title font size, I believe. We'll set that to 14 to be consistent with some of the other titles. So you'll see that go a little bit smaller. Let's move the position and the angle of the title up here as well. So that one we're going to say title angle. We'll set the title angle also to 0 here. And now you can see it's horizontal. However, we have to move it. And there's this nice thing called title X and title Y. So title Y, we want to set to 0. So let's see what that does. Okay, that moves this up. And then let's move it over a little bit. So let's say title X sits over at, let's do -20. There you go. And now let's say, I believe that's everything. Oh, I think there is one more thing that Tice did, is the title font size for this, as well as the label on the x-axis, should both be set to 14. So let's do that. Now you can see the title gets smaller here. So that is how you create, once we go back to the report, that is how you create the 4th chart. Let's go ahead and create chart number 5. Chart number 5 is going to be the same chart that we had before, but we'll remove the y-axis and we will have labels added. So here, let's go ahead and edit. So the first thing that we're going to do, let's remove this y-axis because we had talked about doing that. Easiest thing for us to do is in the encoding for y. Let's just say no. Okay, now we've removed this. Now what we're going to do to create a bar chart with a label, we actually are creating two charts on top of one another. So one would be a chart where we show the bars as the size that they are, and the other that we're actually adding text at a certain height, in line with those bars as well. This chart has one single layer, and that layer is the bar chart. However, we can define layers individually. So let's go ahead and remove the mark here. Then what we're going to do is after this encoding property, we're going to add a property for layer. Now, once we create this layer property, we can add multiple layers within parentheses. In this case, we're going to add a layer for the mark. So let's get these, just to be clear, get all of these parentheses correct. And now we've defined a layer. So within this layer, you can see that we're adding the same mark that we had before. We just didn't have this layer property. We just had the mark. So it implies one layer. So that being said, this code should allow us to get the exact same chart. And you can see that it does. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to add a layer for text. So let's go ahead and add our parentheses. Let's add a mark. And in this circumstance, that mark is going to be of type text. However, right now, it doesn't know what that mark needs to be. So if I go ahead and I hit, run, you're not going to see anything. The reason is we don't actually have anything defined for this yet. So we need to go ahead and add an encoding property. And that property is going to be for the text. So you have to put the text there. And then within here, we need to define the field as type margin. Now when we hit run, you're going to see that value. Well, there's just two more things we need to do. We need to change the format. In the blog post itself, Tice had mentioned that the formatting can actually be changed using this kind of syntax. And so now you can see it does change that value. Now, it's right at the top of each margin. What we actually want is it to be a little bit above that. And so what we can actually do is within the type text, there's a property called dy. So the distance from the y, we want to set that to, let's say, -10. And now it'll sit up above. Positive numbers would go within. So if you wanted to make it white and have it be in the front there, you'd have to make sure that the mark for the text is on top of the bar, but you could do something like that as well. So it allows you to do a lot of different customizations on how you want your chart to look. Okay. Let's move ahead and do chart number 6. Chart number 6 is going to look a lot like chart number 2, except it's a lollipop chart. So it's going to be a layered, actually what's called a rule and a circle type of a layer. So let's go ahead and copy chart 2, paste it. See if we can't move it. There we go, move it over here. You guys can go ahead and change the title, but I'm going to jump right into edit. Again, what I like to do here, let's turn this into a layer. So we're going to create a layer. We're going to reformat all this fun stuff here. So it is a little bit sometimes hard to make sure that you're maintaining the correct format. But let's double check here. So you want that layer to be a bracket, and within that you have your layers, and then your layers are defined. So it should work. Okay, it does. So now we actually have our layer, but we don't want to have a bar. We want to have what's called a rule. So you can add rule here. It assumes a stroke width of 1. You can change the size of that with this stroke width. Indicator, you could say, let's say 5. Well, let's see if 2 works. Oh, I need a comma. Goodness gracious. There, now you can see that they can get bigger. For our chart, we're going to use 1. We want it to be as thin as possible. And then let's create a second layer. Let's change this to circle. If we just change it to circle, oops. Oh, I accidentally put that within the layer. Okay, here's a mistake that I made, and I will make it clear what happened. I actually put within the same layer this additional mark. So it needs to go like this. Now you should see the line and the circle. There we go. So let's go ahead and change the size of the circle as well. So here you can go ahead and just change the size to 80. Let's put a comma after that. And you can actually change the opacity. And that's just saying how transparent we want this to be. So we don't want it to be transparent at all. We want it to be a solid color at the end. So very quickly, you can see how we turned a bar chart into a lollipop chart just by starting to add a couple layers and making some small adjustments there to the layers that we do have in place. And we're on to the last chart, chart number 7. In this one, we're actually going to be creating 2 layers, but the difference between what we've done in the past with multiple layers is in this case, the multiple layers are actually using different information to be plotted. And so we're actually going to have to do specific encoding for each layer to make that work. So let's go ahead and actually copy this lollipop chart. The lollipop chart already has 2 layers, and it's in the format that we're going to need it. So let's do that. Go ahead and change your title for the chart number 7. But in here, we already have a lot of information that is going to be needed for these marks. We can go ahead and change this to, let's change this to width 15. And we're going to change the color to a different gray here. Just see what this does right away. Now you can see we've got this pretty big bar here on top. And then what we're going to want to do is change the second mark to a rule as well. This one will be a little bit smaller. We're obviously not going to need the size. You just need the stroke width here. And that's going to be 5. Okay, so now you can see that we're pretty close already to what we need this chart to be. The only difference is the actual encoding for these need to be specific within the marks, or within the layers, I mean. And the reason for that is this big gray bar, which is this piece right here, needs to go out to 0.2. So if you remember, it was 20% was the format of the data that we had. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start just by taking the X encoding out here. And then what we're going to do So we're going to add encoding. And within the encoding, we can, after much effort, let's see here. Okay, there we go. This encoding is now defined under this mark. And what I like to do, as you've seen already, is create what we already have in a new way of thinking, and then adjust. So now we don't want this big one to go to 20. We want that to be 0.2, and there's this field called datum. So instead of basing it on a field, we can base it off a data point, and that data point is 0.2. Now, the reason we're getting this error here is the sorting. We need to change how we write this. So let's go ahead, and now for sort, we want to base it off of a field so that it can aggregate it. That is margin. And we want our order to be ascending. There we go. And now we've been able to create our final chart, and that completes this week's Workout Wednesday session. I'd like to thank Tice for his really great Deneb work. I think this was a really good way for us to expand into some of those concepts of layering without really getting too complex. I really like how it was structured. So big thank you to him. Please check out his social media and his GitHub in the description below. And thank you guys very much. Hope to see you soon.